greater light. There's many things I could be doing right now, but like I said a couple of days ago, I'm going to do 3 lives a day, all on different subjects. And right now, I'm feeling like just meditating on Sirach and the wisdom of Jesus, son of Sirach. So I'm going to start at Sirach, chapter 10, and read until I don't want to read anymore. I'm going to try to read and be quiet. And keep my thoughts to myself, because my thoughts are not God's thoughts, but my mind is God's mind. And I'm going to start off by saying my mind is God's mind. I'm always reflecting divine wisdom and divine intelligence. My brain symbolizes the capacity to think wisely and spiritually. God's ideas unfold within my mind in perfect sequence. I try to be poised, always balanced, always serene, always and calm. I try, knowing that God will supply the perfect solution to all my needs. Amen. Okay. Sirach chapter 10. Let me make sure my volume is straight. The wisdom of Jesus, son of Sirach. As wise magistrates educates his people, and the rule of an intelligent person is well ordered. As the people's judge is, so are the officials, and the ruler of the city. So are all its inhabitants. Now, this one right here, verse 2. So if the judge and the officials and the rulers of the city are corrupt, so are all of its inhabitants. Is that what it's saying? Let me read it again. This is the wisdom of Jesus. This was here before I got here. And this holy book that I'm in the presence of heritage, that I have to wear white gloves with sometimes, was here before I got here. I just happen to be reading something I've never read before. It's just all brand new. But let me read it again, and then try to read and be quiet. A wise magistrate educates his people, and the rule of an intelligent person is well ordered. As the people's judge is, so are the officials. As the ruler of the city is, so are all its inhabitants. An undisciplined king ruins his people, but a city becomes fit to live in through the understanding of its rulers. The government of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and over it he will raise up the right leader for the time. Human success is in the hand of the Lord, and it is he who confers honor upon the lawgiver. Don't get angry with your neighbor for every injury, and do not resort to acts of insolence. Arrogance is hateful to the Lord and to mortals, and injustice is outrageous to both. So that's Sirach 1 through 10. No, that's Sirach chapter 10, verse 1 through 8. I'm going to read it one more time. I feel it's necessary for the events that occurred yesterday, and I said I was going to talk about it in more depth today, but I'm not. As a wise magistrate educates his people, and the rule of an intelligent person is well ordered, as the people's judge is, so are the officials. As the ruler of the city is, so are all the inhabitants. An undisciplined king ruins his people, but a city becomes fit to live in through the understanding of its rulers. The government of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and over it he will raise up the right leader for the time. Human success is in the hand of the Lord, and it is he who confers honor upon the lawgiver. Do not get angry with your neighbor for every injury, and do not resort to acts of insolence. Arrogance is hateful to the Lord and to mortals, and injustice is outrageous to both. Sovereignty passes from nation to nation on account of injustice and insolence and wealth. Sovereignty passes from nation to nation on account of injustice and insolence and wealth. How can dust and ashes be proud? Even in life, the human body decays. A long illness baffles the physician. The king of today will die tomorrow. For when one is dead, he inherits maggots and vermin and worms. The beginning of human pride is to forsake the Lord. The heart has withdrawn from its maker. For the beginning of pride is sin, and the one who clings to it pours out abominations. Therefore, the Lord brings upon them unheard of calamities and destroys them completely. The Lord overthrows the thrones of rulers and enthrones the lowly in their place. This one is for my son, who got tasered for a mumbling word. No acts of violence, no outrage, a mumbling word. The Lord overthrows the thrones of rulers and enthrones the lowly in their place. The Lord plucks up the roots of nations and plants the humble in their place. The Lord lays waste to the lands of the nations. Yeah, I'll be back. Nope, no, I won't. Give me a second. Clean my glasses. I have to clean my glasses. I have to clean my glasses. The Lord lays waste the lands of nations and destroys them to the foundations of the earth. He removes some of them and destroys them and erases memory of them from the earth. Pride is not created for human beings, or violent anger for those born of women. Whose offspring are worthy of honor, human offspring, whose offspring are worthy of the Lord, those who fear the Lord. Whose offspring are unworthy of honor, human offspring, whose offspring are unworthy of honor, those who break the commandments. Among family members, their leader is worthy of honor, but those who fear the Lord are worthy of honor in his eyes. The rich and the eminent and the poor, their glory is the fear of the Lord. It is not right to despise one who is intelligent but poor. And it is not proper to honor one who is sinful. It is not right to despise one who is intelligent but poor. And it is not proper to honor one who is sinful. The prince and the judge and the ruler are honored, but none of them is greater than the one who fears the Lord. Free citizens will serve a wise servant, and an intelligent person will not complain. Do not make a display of your wisdom when you do your work, and do not boast when you are in need. Better is the worker who has goods in plenty than a boaster who lacks bread. My child, honor yourself with humility and give yourself the esteem you deserve. Who will acquit those who condemn themselves? And who will honor those who dishonor themselves? The poor are honored for their knowledge, and the rich are honored for their wealth. One who is honored in poverty, how much more in wealth? And one is dishonored in wealth, how much more in poverty? The wisdom of the humble lifts their heads high and seats them among the great. Do not praise individuals for their good looks or loathe anyone because of their appearance alone. The bee is small among flying creatures, but what it produces is the best of sweet things. Do not boast about wearing fine clothes, and do not exalt yourself when you are honored, for the works of the Lord are wonderful, and his works are concealed from humankind. Many kings have had to sit on the ground, but one who has never thought of has worn a crown. Many rulers have been utterly disgraced, and the honored have been handed over to others. Do not find fault before you investigate. Examine first and then criticize. Do not answer before you listen, and do not interrupt when another is speaking. Do not argue about a matter that does not concern you. Do not sit with sinners when they judge a case. My child, do not busy yourself with many matters. If you multiply activities, you will not be held blameless. If you pursue, you will not overtake, and by fleeting, you will not escape. There are those who work and struggle and hurry, but are so much the more in want. There are others who are slow and need help, who lack strength and abound in poverty, but the eyes of the Lord look kindly upon them. He lifts them out of their lowly condition and raises up their heads to amazement of many. Good things and bad, life and death, poverty and wealth come from the Lord. The Lord's gift remains with the devout, and his favor brings lasting success. One becomes rich with diligence and self-denial, and the reward allotted to him is this: when he says, I have found rest, and now I shall feast on my goods. He does not know how long it will be until he leaves them to others and dies. Stand by your agreement and attend to it, and grow old in your work. Do not wonder at the works of a sinner, but trust in the Lord and keep at your job. For it is easy in the sight of the Lord to make poor rich suddenly and in an instant. The blessing of the Lord is the reward of the pious, and quickly God causes his blessings to flourish. Do not say, what do I need, and what further benefit can be mine? Do not say I have enough, and what harm can come to me now? In the day of prosperity, adversity is forgotten, and in the day of adversity, prosperity is not remembered. For it is easy for the Lord on the day of death to reward individuals according to their conduct. An hour's misery makes one forget past delights, and at the close of one's life, one's deeds are revealed. Call no one happy before his death. By how he ends, a person becomes known. Do not invite everyone to your home, for many are the tricks of the crafty. Like a decoy partridge in a cage, so is the mind of the proud. And like spies, they observe your weakness, for they lie in wait, turning good into evil, and to worthy actions they attach blame. From a spark, many coals are kindled, and a sinner lies in wait to shed blood. Beware of scoundrels, for they devise evil, and they may ruin your reputation forever. Receive strangers into your homes, and they will stir up trouble for you, and will make you a stranger in your own family. Chapter 12. If you do good, know to whom you do it, and you will be thanked for your good deeds. Do good to the devout, and you will be repaid, if not by them, certainly by the Most High. No good comes to one who persists in evil, or in one who does not give alms. Give to the devout, but do not help the sinner. Do good to the humble, but do not give to the ungodly. Hold back their bread, and do not give to them, for by means of it they might subdue you. Then you will receive twice as much evil for all the good you have done to them. For the Most High also hates sinners with the inflict punishment on the ungodly. For the Most High also hates sinners and will inflict punishment on the ungodly. Give to the one who is good, but do not help the sinner. A friend is not known in prosperity, nor is an enemy hidden in adversity. One's enemies are friendly when one prospered, but in adversity, even one's friend disappeared. Never trust your enemy, for like corrosion in copper, so is his wickedness. Never trust your enemy, for like corrosion in copper, so is his wickedness. Even if he humbles himself and walks bowed down, take care to be on your guard against him. Be to him like one who polishes a mirror. Be sure it does not become completely tarnished. Do not put him next to you, or he may overthrow you and take your place. Do not let him sit at your right hand, or else he may try to take your own seat. And at last you'll realize the truth of my words and be stung by what I have said. Who pities a snake charmer when he is bitten, or all those who go near a wild animal? So no one pities a person who associates with a sinner and becomes involved in other sins. He stands by you for a while, but if you falter, he will not be there. An enemy speaks sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he plans to throw you into a pit. An enemy may have tears in his eyes, but if he finds an opportunity, he will never have enough of your blood. If evil comes upon you, you will find him there ahead of you, pretending to help. He will trip you up. Then he will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and show his true face. I want to read that one more time. 13 through 18. He who pities a snake charmer when he is bitten. Wait, who pities the snake charmer when he is bitten? Or all those who go near wild animals? So no one pities a person who associates with a sinner and becomes involved in others' sins. He stands by you for a while, but if you falter, he will not be there. An enemy speaks sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he plans to throw you into a pit. An enemy may have tears in his eyes, but if he finds the opportunity, he will never have enough of your blood. If evil comes upon you, you will find him there ahead of you, pretending to help. He will trip you up. Then he will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and show his true face. Chapter 13. Whoever touches pitch gets dirty, and whoever associates with a proud person becomes like him. Do not lift a weight too heavy for you, or associate with one mightier and richer than you. How can the clay pot associate with the iron kettle? The pot will strike against it and be smashed. A rich person does wrong and even adds insult. A poor person suffers wrong and must add apologies. A rich person will exploit you if you can be of use to him. But if you are in need, he will abandon you. Wow. This is, again, I'm reading from Sirach, The Wisdom of Jesus, chapter 13. A rich person will exploit you if he can. A rich person will exploit you if you can be of use to him. But if you are in need, he will abandon you. If you own something, he will live with you. He will drain your resources without qualm. When he needs you, he will deceive you and will smile at you and encourage you. This is what rich people do? I don't know. I ain't never been rich. Dang, man. I gotta start over. Let me just take this in. This means something to me right here. Again, I've never seen this book of the Bible. I've never read this. So just give me a second. Whoever touches pitch gets dirty, and whoever associates with the proud person becomes like him. Do not lift a weight too heavy for you, or associate with one mightier and richer than you. How can the clay pot associate with the iron kettle? The pot will strike against it and be smashed. A rich person does wrong and even adds insult. A poor person suffers wrong and must add apologies. A rich person will exploit you if you can be of use to him, but if you are in need, he will abandon you. If you own something, he will live with you. He will drain your resources without qualm. When he needs you, he will deceive you and will smile at you and encourage you. He will speak to you kindly and say, "What do you need?" He will embarrass you with his delicacies until he has drained you 2 or 3 times, and finally he will laugh at you. Should he see you afterwards, he will pass you by and shake his head at you. Take care not to be led astray and humiliated when you are enjoying yourself. When an influential person invites you, be reserved, and he will invite you more insistently. Do not be forward, or you will be rebuffed. Do not stand aloft, or you will be forgotten. Do not try to treat him as an equal, or trust his lengthy conversations, for he will test you by prolonged talk, and while he smiles, he will be examining you. Cruel are those who do not keep your secrets. They will not spare you no harm or imprisonment. Be on guard and very careful, for you are walking about your own downfall. Every creature loves its like, and every person their neighbor. A living being associate with their own kind. A people stick close to those like themselves. What does a wolf have in common with the lamb? No more than a sinner has with the devout. What peace is there between a hyena and a dog? And what peace between the rich and the poor? Wild asses in the wilderness are the prey of lions. Likewise, the poor are feeding grounds for the rich. Humility is an abomination to the proud. Likewise, the poor are an abomination to the rich. When a rich person tetters, he is supported by his friends. But when the humble falls, he is pushed away, even by friends. If the rich person slips, many come to rescue. He speaks seemly words, but then justify himself. If the humble person slips, they even criticize him. He talks sense, but he's not given a hearing. The rich person speaks, and all are silent. They extol to the clouds what he says. The poor person speaks, and they say, "Who is this fellow?" And should he stumble, they even push him down. Riches are good if they are free from sin. Poverty is evil only in the opinion of the ungodly. The heart changes the countenance either for good or for evil. The sign of a happy heart is a cheerful face, but the device Proverbs requires painful thinking. That was a lot to take in, and I'm going to go ahead and end this live, and I'll probably come back a little bit later because I really want to stick to the wisdom of Jesus today, because it seemed like it is written each day just for me. Every time I open these new words that I have never seen before, they say it's nothing new under the sun. Well, there's something new to my eyes. And I ended at Sirach chapter 14. I'll begin at chapter 14 when I come back. But I may read 13 again, because it is significant to what's going on in the realm that I'm in. For me, greater light, and see you later.